is we want to start with a long stretch as you reach everything out. When I say a banana stretch, we're going to just gently take our arms, legs off to one side, and you would only take it where it feels good, a little stretch down the side. So we're thinking stretching down the side of our body, and then we gently take it over to the other side. And you might choose to linger a little longer on one side versus the other as you take this stretch. So take your time, a little bit on one side, a little bit on the other. Once you finish your long stretch, you can reach from your fingertips to your toes. We will bring our knees into our chest and give ourselves a nice little back stretch. Bring your feet down to the mat. You can take little windshield wipers. That is knees going off to one side, knees off to the other. So this is a little bit of a spinal twist. So you can make it as big or as small as feels good. From here, we are going to meet with our feet down on the mat. We're adding little bridges here. So the idea of the bridge is to get some movement in your hips and your spine. So you would gently lift your hips. Maybe you come just part way up. So we're just starting, gradually adding some movement in our body. So you could choose little half bridges, just as you feel your glutes engage, open through your hip flexors. Bring your hips back down. As you take the lift and lower, you can start adding your arms, some shoulder movement as you bring your arms up, maybe halfway, and then you let them come down. You might choose to take them further, lift your hips higher as everything warms up. So take it your height. We're just getting our movement through our hips, shoulders. Take your arms only as far overhead as feels good. Let's take a couple more here. At the end of the next one, leave your hips down on the mat. We'll take our wrist stretch. Take your palm up towards the ceiling. I'm going to add a little fingertips towards my forehead, stretching through the wrist here. And from there, we flip our fingertips away. Thumb can come in the crease of your wrist. Add your forearm wrist stretch here. Now we take this on the other side. Fingertips towards your forehead. And then we gently take our fingertips away. We're going to go ahead, little wrist circles. Open your arms up to the side. Take a gentle twist here. Knees can go off to one side. Just a quick, gentle little spinal twist. Carefully bring your legs back to center. Take your spinal twist off to the other side. We're going to start working on our core. Get our core engaged right here. Meet with your feet on the floor. Hands are coming behind your head. Release your thumbs by your jaw. Elbows can stay wide, but you could also choose to lift them a little. Right here, think zip the core. Bring your rib cage in. Take an exhale. Crunch and lift. And then release down. It's an exhale. And then a lift. So we want to feel our belly button coming into our spine as you lift and lower. Here comes the exhale, lift, and gently release down. Exhale, lift, release down. We're going to do 4 more. There's your 4. So I want you to start thinking, am I using my core? As you lift, your neck should be relaxed. Now, take your last one, relax the upper body, and we are going to march our lower body. So now we're bringing a little more attention to the lower core. Everything is connected, so we're not really doing upper, lower, but you might feel more engagement as you lift and lower your leg. Now, if you're feeling great today and you're really warmed up, feel free to take both your legs up together. Maybe you try a couple, see how it feels, And as you do it, checking to see, were you able to keep your rib cage in? Were you able to keep the zip up? We'll do 4. Here's your 3. It's your 2. We keep both of our feet down, slide one leg out. We're doing one long-legged crunch here. Hands will come across the front. You can always take them behind your head. Same idea. You exhale, you crunch, take a peek at your toes, release back down. Take your exhale, your crunch, you lift, release yourself down. So our toes are up towards the ceiling. We're really stable through the straight leg. Take one more on this side. It's your exhale, your lift. And now we switch sides. Slide the straight leg in. The other leg goes out straight. Add your exhale, your lift. Release down. It's your exhale, your crunch, and release. Exhale. So think core. If you're feeling straight in your neck, use some assistant, but really see if you can get into your core before you lift up. There comes your last one. Relax down. Take your arms. Fingertips are towards the ceiling. Our knees are coming towards the ceiling. A little bit more stabilizing. I want you to feel the zip. Get really solid. Then you would add opposite arm, opposite leg. It's our dead bug movement here. Now just check. You'll know your legs are in the right position because your core is engaged when your knees are right over your hips. Now I have my leg bent. If you want to add more work, it is long leg as you take it out. And when you do that, did you keep your core zipping up? Here's your 4. Here's your 3. It's your 2. Last one, arms and legs can come down, and we are getting ready to move on to our weights. So I'm starting with chest, which means I'm grabbing my heavier set. We're gonna have goalpost arms starting down on the floor, and then you press and you lift up. So we still keep the core. It's a neutral spinal curve. That's our natural spinal curve. But you're still zipping through the core. And your rib cage is still coming together. We're pressing straight up. Now, one thing to check with your chest press. One is for your chest, which means we want our arms when they come up to be at chest level. Sometimes we don't realize it. We let our arms come over our shoulders, and then you'll feel more work in your shoulders than your chest. So when your arms are up, just double check. Make sure they're over your chest as you press. We're doing 8 more. So we're doing a little higher rep. There's your press. We have 4 more here. Here comes your 4. Here's your 3. It's your 2. Now this time, press your arms up. We're gonna have the palms face each other. It's a fly. It's still for your chest. Arms open to the outside. Squeeze, bring it in. Now this is a great one to double check that your core is staying engaged, especially your rib cage area, so you avoid arching through your spine. You're opening, you're lifting, bringing it up. When your hands get to the top, there's still space between them. So think the arms are going to stop right over your shoulders. We're gonna keep going. We're doing 8 more. So we're taking that fly, squeeze, bring it up. Here comes your 7. Here's your 6. 5. Are you still engaged with your core? Here's your last 2. Now you can keep your hands up. There's the lift. Bend your elbows. They're right next to your rib cage. And now we're doing a pullover movement. So this works your back. So you're going to have to make sure you're zipping up through your core. You're taking the pullover and you're going to pull it back. It also works our triceps. There's your over and you pull. So I'm keeping my elbows bent and I'm doing an over and a pull. There's your over and your pull. And again, check in. We want to be stable through our center. Let your back and your triceps do the work. Here comes your 4. There's your 4. Here's your 3. It's your 2. And now when you finish this one, it's a tricep press. Now we're specifically working the back of our arms. I have my heavier weights yet. You can start switching down to your smaller weights if you want. Tricep press is for the back of your arms, but it also has our chest assisting, which is why if you have your heavier weights, you might want to stick with them. But we are going to transition right into a tricep extension, which that would be little smaller weights. Unless you're feeling fabulous with the weights you have, you would keep those. Here comes your 4. Here's your 3. It's your 2. And now you're going into your tricep extensions. I'm going to be switching on my weights, but the move right here is going to be bringing them down towards your forehead, and then you press up. So if you had heavier weights and you're losing your form, you would shift to your smaller weights. Triceps, smaller muscle group. But if you're feeling great with the weights that you have, continue to challenge yourself. There's your 8. So you should feel the back of your arms working. 7. We take 4 more. Here comes your 4. It's your 3. It's your 2. And there comes your last one. Go ahead, bring your weights down. You can set them next to you gently, carefully. Give yourself a little shake if you want to take the arm across. Give yourself a nice tricep stretch. We're going to roll all the way up. That means our feet are going to come out long. You could also keep them bent. Fingertips towards the ceiling. Use your thighs if you'd like as you roll up. Bring yourself all the way up. Once you get there, we are adding some spine twists. Let's open our legs a little bit. Arms can open to the side. Take a twist off to one side. Bring it to center. Take the twist to the other side. Bring it to center. So now we're working, zipping up so we can sit up tall. If you find that your lower back is rounding or you're having issues because your hamstrings are tight, bend your legs. You'll be able to keep sitting up tall and still add the twist. We have 4 like this. Here's your 3. It's your 2. And here comes your last one. Arms go down. Shake them out, shake them out. We're going to give our arms a little bit of a break. We're going to work on our legs. I'm going into our quadricep lift on the floor. I took my heavier weight because this is quad, bigger, larger muscle. We're going to start lifting a leg. Now I set the weight on my left leg. You can choose whichever leg you want to start with. Now this other leg, I have mine bent. You might choose having it straight feels better. I am also up a little higher, but you might choose to bring yourself down. There isn't a right place to go. It is where you get the best work for the front of your leg, your quadricep. Now, if you're up high, your range of motion is going to be different than when you're down low. So if you're down on your elbow, you're probably lifting your leg a little higher. We are going to do 4 more right here. Here comes the 4. Now you should feel the front of the leg working. Make adjustments if you are not feeling a good burn on the front of your leg. Now, we are going to lift our leg one more time. Once it's up, you're adding little pulses. Little pulse and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, release it down. Give it a little tap if you felt some burning. Let the leg tap it out, tap it out, tap it out. And we take it to the other side. Toes are up towards the ceiling, and then you add your lift. Now, the reason you'll hear me say toes are towards the ceiling, that means our knee is towards the ceiling, which means we're using the front of our thigh. So I want us to make sure we're working on our quadricep here as you lift and lower. And again, your range of motion, wherever it is for you, it could be going way higher than my leg is going. It could be smaller. That doesn't really matter. What we're really working on is getting the front of the thigh. Here it comes. 5. Here is your 4. 3. 2, you're going to lift this one up, keep it up, add your pulses right there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, tap it out, tap it out, tap it out. Give yourself a little release right there. You can set your weight down. We're going to come onto our front side. We're doing some work for our back. It's also some great moves for our posture. You're coming through on your front side. Now we're going to reach our toes away. I really want you to be out of your low back. So lift your leg, reach your toes, glue your feet down to the mat. Today we're going to start with a Y. So your hands are going to come out to a Y. With our arms, we're going to go Y, make a W, make a T, and then sweep the arms back. So right here, start with the Y. We're going to keep our feet down so we can focus on the upper back right here. So press your feet down, add the lift up. Now make sure your core is engaged. Elbows are coming back. That's some back work right there. Draw your elbows back. Fingertips reach to the side, make a T. And now sweep your fingertips towards your toes. Option here, lift the legs if you choose. Get really long, top of the head shoots forward. Now we're going to come back into a T. Legs can go down. Make a W. Make a Y. And then relax. Take a little break, and we're going to repeat it again. You're making a Y as you lift. Press your feet down. W, pull your elbows back. T, reach to the side. Fingertips back, they reach your toes. Legs lift if you choose. We are getting longer, shooting from the top of our head to our toes. You can start bringing yourself back to a T, legs up or down, your choice, what feels best. W, Y, and relax. We are going to do that one more time. Lift as you make a Y. Elbows pull back, W. Fingertips make a T. Sweep your fingers to your toes. Lift if you choose. Lengthen, lengthen. Make your T. Make your W. Here's your Y. And then relax down. Forehead, cheek to the mat. Give yourself a little shake through your hips. Give yourself a Sphinx pose. This is just going to be a nice little stretch right here. Elbows under your shoulders. Lengthen top of the head to your toes. From Sphinx, we're going to press back. Give yourself a child's pose. Maybe a cow cat feels better. We will be meeting in all fours, adding our rows for our back and some flies. So bring yourself to all fours. This is where I use my block to prop myself up a little higher, but you might choose to keep your hand down on the floor. And also, if you have two weights, you could also support yourself. Especially if your wrist bothers you, you can keep your wrist straight if you're here. We're going to be adding our roll up. I'm going to have my hand on the block, but maybe you keep your hand on your weight this way, and then you would pull up. So we're doing a row first. So make sure knees under hips, and we're going to pull up and bring it down. Now this, I grabbed my heavier weight because we're focused on our back muscles, which is a larger muscle group. I still want you to have your core engaged. So if you like to let your belly hang down towards the floor, this is a great chance to pull the belly in so you're working your core as well as your back. Now another idea is if you have smaller weights, you could also hold both your weights in one hand as you lift up, release down. We're doing 3 more. Here comes your 3. Here comes your 2. We're going to transition into a fly, which is your upper back, shoulder. I will be grabbing my smaller weight. Your fly goes up to the side, and then you bring it down. And again, bring your attention. Core is engaged, and we are lifting to the outside. So lift. And you might have to play around with your weights a little bit. Find the right size that works for you. You're going to exhale when you're doing the most work. We just want to make sure we don't hold our breath when we're doing this. We're taking 2 more. And then we're going to switch off over to the other side. So when you start up, first it's the row, choose your heavier weight, double up your weights. We still have belly button pulling into the spine. And what I really mean is straight spine here. Try to avoid collapsing or arching your back. Our elbows pulling up, you're releasing down. There's your pull and your release. We lift. We have 5 more here. Here's your 5. Here's your 4. 3, 2. We are going right into the fly to the outside. I'll be switching my weights, but you might want to stick with the size that you have as you lift and you lower. Now really, hips are stable. Our core is stable as you lift. We have 5 more here. Here comes your 5. Your 4, 3, 2, and here comes the last one. Give your upper body a little bit of a shake out. You're going to shake it out. We're going to be staying on all fours. We're going to catch our hamstrings while we're here. I'll be staying up on my hands, but if your wrists bother you when you're here, feel free to come down to your forearms. I'll be adding a weight behind my knee. If you are not comfortable doing that, you can do this movement just as effectively without using a weight at all. You're going to set yourself up in all fours, and then you add the lift and the lower. So we're taking the bottom of the foot towards the ceiling. Now, I like to always say, it's not about how high the leg goes, because we want to be able to keep our core engaged. So if you lift and you have to arch your back, you're going a little bit too high. We want to feel the glutes and the hamstring working as you lift right here. Here comes your 3. It's your 2. Take this one up, keep it up. We're going to add our little push and push for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down, and now we're going to switch to the other side. So if you were using weights, you're going to take the weight, set it right in the crease of the knee on the other side, You are on your hands and knees, but remember, you could come down lower if that feels better for your wrists. Zip the core, rib cage in, strong, stable spine. Flex the foot and take the foot towards the ceiling. There's your push your foot into the ceiling, bring it back down. There's your lift and your lower. So as you do this, we are focused. Back of the thigh, hamstring, glutes. Can you feel the muscles get engaged as you lift? 4, 3, 2, lift this one up, keep it up. We're adding our little pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg down. Set the weight off to the side. We're taking a quick downward dog. You can slide your hands a little further forward. Downward dog is for a stretch. So if you do not like downward dog, take a child's pose. Stretch out your arms, stretch out your legs. Downward dog is nice because you can get the back of your legs. Remember, you're still stretching the back of your legs, even if you soften your knees. So you want to go where you get the best stretch for your body. It is from here, we're going to walk our hands to our feet. Here comes the walk in. Soften the knees. We are rolling up one vertebra at a time. Shoulders are going to roll back. We're going to take some squats with some front raises. I'll be grabbing my smaller weights for front raises because that's our shoulders. You can always skip the weights as well. When we do this Monday, Wednesday with no weights. It's a squat and a lift. Bring it down. I'm actually going to take my thumbs up. I'm going to add a little change to my front raise, but I want you to check in with your shoulders and see which one works best for you. There's your squat. And maybe you don't use weights. That's okay. We're going to take it down, pull the core in, and then bring it up. Here's your down, and bring it up. We have 3 more here. Here's your 3. Here's your 2. And then we're going to take this right into a lunge with some bicep curls. Take your step back, add your bicep curl, bring it up and switch. So we're going to start by switching. There's your down and up. Now you want to stay upright. On the next one, step back into your lunge position and hold it. And we're going to take it down and up here. So you're going to take your lunge and bring it up. Take your lunge. So we're going to stay right here. We're going to check. Chest is lifted. You're bending the back knee. Maybe it goes low. Maybe it stays high. 5 more here. There's your 5, 4, 3, 2. You step up. We get to take this on the other side. There's your up. Lunging back, add your curl and your lift. Take your curl and your lift. Take it down and up, down and up. So straight down, straight up. Here's your 5, 4, 3, 2. Here comes your last one. Bring yourself all the way up. I'm going to switch to heavier weights. I'm going to do some standing rows, back muscle, large muscle group. But you can keep the size weights you have. Both of our feet are going to be down on the floor under your hips. Little hinge, pull your weights back. Now when I say pull your weights back, we are still zipping through our core as you lift right here. There comes your squeeze and release. Here's your squeeze and your release. Pull And so there comes the lift. We're going to do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now you're going to bring yourself all the way up. Bring yourself up on this one. Arms are going to stay down by this side. And you're going to lift a knee and set it down. Lift a knee, so we have a little balance work I'm tucking in there. If you would rather not lift your knee, that's okay too. Or maybe you take your heel. So you choose the version that works for you. We're going to do this one more time on each side. And then we're going into our heel lifts. Think of it as a calf raise. We have our weights in our hands. Heels are under hips. Lift up. Take a pause at the top. Bring it down. My little pause at the top didn't work for me. So find your focal spot. Bring it up. Control. Bring it down. Here comes the up. Little pause. Bring it down. We're doing 4 more. Here comes your 4. Here comes our 3. My heels don't want to lift today. Here comes your 2. And now take one more right here. Take it up. And go ahead. Release it down. Now you can set your weights down. We're going to roll down to the floor. So bringing yourself down. I want this to feel good through your back. Here's chin to chest, rolling down. Hands meet the mat. You're walking your hands out into your plank. Hold your plank. Zip the core. Pull in the rib cage. Can you squeeze your glutes a little? We're going to hold our plank. Stay here. Exhale. You can get deeper into your core. We're going to stay here just a little bit longer. Hold your plank. We're going to hold it for about 10 more seconds. We have about 5 seconds remaining. Take your downward dog. That's the lift of your hips. Press back. There's your long stretch. We will walk ourselves through however you like to come through. Bring yourself all the way through. We're going to get right into doing some of our core work. We're going to start with our crunches and move on from there. Feet are down on the floor. Hands are behind your head. Take your exhale and lift. So I want you to check in real quick. Zipping, rib cage. Spinal curve, it's your natural spinal curve. Little bit of space. So I should clarify, what that means is, if you have a tendency to press your back all the way down into the mat and you can't slide your hand under, then you want to relax a little bit. Natural spinal curve, you should have a little bit of space to slide your hand underneath your back as you lift and lower. And we're stabilizing it there. We're going to do 4 more. Here comes your 3. Here comes your 2. Now we're going to go right into some leg circles. That's a stabilizing move. Arms are by your side, bottom leg straight or bent. Toes are towards the ceiling. Get a little outward rotation so your knee is off diagonal. Zip, add your circle. Maybe it's a large circle. Maybe it's a small circle. It really doesn't matter. What we want to do is feel our core. Stay engaged. Here comes the opposite direction. You're going to take the leg in the opposite direction. Press your shoulders down. Keep your arms pressing into the mat as you make this circle. Our hips are still. You're going to finish this leg. We switch off to the other leg. Now, I keep my bottom leg bent, but you could also have the bottom leg straight. Make sure you get the outward rotation. Knee is off diagonal. And then you add. Circle around. Circle around. There's your circle, big or small. With your exhale, get deeper into your core. Switch the directions. Take your circle in the opposite direction. We're going to take 2 more here. From here, it is your 100. Feet can be down on the floor. They can be lifted up. Fingertips are going to reach by your sides. Take your big exhale. Get into your core. Lift up. Here's the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it out. Toes can go straight up towards the ceiling. It is your scissors movement. Maybe it's big, maybe it's small. There's your reach. Your reach. Can you make a little outward rotation with your legs here so that you're taking it out of your hip flexors and you just feel the work a little differently when your knees are a little bit outward? Maybe you're making it a larger movement. Maybe you're keeping it a little smaller. It doesn't matter as long as you're keeping the core engaged, rib cage in. From here, it is your single leg stretch. Bring a knee in, and then you're going to switch other side. Now I lifted my shoulders. You might choose to keep your shoulders down on the mat. That's perfectly fine. We just want to make sure we keep the work in our core. Use your exhale and exhale. We're doing 4 more. Here comes 4, 3, 2, add a bicycle movement. Hands behind, lift your elbow. That's my shoulder. That's what I really meant. We're lifting our shoulder up off the mat, taking a lift and a little twist. So think obliques. You want to lift the shoulder off the mat. It's bringing the shoulder to the knee, which is different than bringing the knee to the shoulder. I want you to think about lift. Here's the lift. We'll do 4 more. Here's your 4. Here's your 3. It's your 2. And there's your last one. Give yourself a little break. Knees can come into your chest. Maybe you add little circles on your back. We're going to take some bridge work here. I will not be using any weights. If you want to put a weight on your hip, feel free to do that. We are going to just do some lifting, lowering, and then we'll add some marching. So here comes bridge as you lift. So like I said, if you wanted to use a weight, you could set it on your hips and then you control, you bring it down. I'm skipping weights for the bridge work today, but feel free to add it if it feels like it's a good addition for you. So we would take our lift and our lower. Here's your 4. Here's your 3. Now with the next one, finish this lift and lower, and we're going to still lift and lower our hips, but we're going to add a marching movement. So you would lift a leg, hips come up, bring it down. Press into your foot, lift your hips, release, bring it down. Press into the foot, lift the hips, bring it down. And I really want you to focus, push the foot, lift through your glutes, your hamstrings, and bring it down. So let's be nice to our low back. So if you have a tendency to feel it in your low back, can you press possibly a little bit more into your heel. Sometimes that brings it more into the hamstring. But it could be the placement. Maybe you need to take your leg a little closer or further away. Here comes 4. Here's your 3. It's your 2. Both feet are going to stay down. Lift your hips up one more time and then hold it up right here. As you press, you lift. Think glutes towards your knees, little pulse and pulse. Now this is micro movement, very small, small. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently, carefully bring your hips down. If you had your weights and you were using them, feel free to set them to the side. Let your back gently release. That could be knees together, feet open up. That's one version of a relaxation. It could be windshield wiper legs as you take it from one side to the other. So there's another great option to let your low back release. We are going to meet with the bottom of our feet together. So we take our butterfly, bound angle legs, and then we add our crunches here. Press the bottoms of your feet together. Hands come behind your head. Add your exhale, lift, and then you bring it down. Exhale, lift, and you bring it down. So we really want to lift with our core. By opening our legs up, we are letting our low back release, but we are also making it so we can't cheat and use our hip flexors when we lift and lower, when we have our legs out in our butterfly pose. Here comes your 4. Here comes your 3. It's your 2. Now you're going to give yourself a long stretch when you finish this one. Reach from your fingertips to your toes, taking a long stretch. I do want to have us meet over on this side. We're going to get our outer thigh real quick. I'm going to grab my smaller weight, but you can use your larger weight as we take our side leg lifts. So reach out long, weight would be on your thigh, flex your foot, add the lift and the lower. Here's the lift and the lower. So yes, we are working the outer hip, outer thigh, but I want you to bring in your attention to your core. So you're pulling your waistline up and away from the mat. And what I'm really trying to tell you to do is keep a long, straight spine. So rather than letting your waist collapse down, that'll take your spine with you. We're trying to keep that long line. Here comes your last one. And we're going to take the weight and set it on your inner thigh. I just like to use my block for my knee. You can take your foot wherever you like it. Bottom leg is out straight. Weight is on the inner thigh as you lift and lower. So you have your exhale, lift, bring it down. Exhale, lift. Here is your 5, 4, 3, 2, and there goes your last one. Now we're going to gracefully take it over to the other side. We want to make sure we catch both sides, right? We'll give ourselves a nice stretch as soon as you finish this. First, the weight is on the top leg. Pull your toes in, lead with your heel. Once you're moving the leg up and down, then it's your chance. Quick little scan. Pulling your waistline up and away from the mat. Upper body's relaxed, right? Here's your 4. It's your 3. It's your 2. And now you're going to transition so you can work your inner thigh. Weight would be on the inner thigh or not. You don't have to use a weight. That's always just an option. We do this on other days without any weight, and it's still a very effective move. There's the lift and the lower. Here's the lift. 4 more. Here comes your 4. It's your 3. It's your 2. And there comes your last one. Go ahead, bring the leg down. Set your weights out of the way. You can set your block out of the way. Let's meet on our bellies, the front side. First, start with a Sphinx pose or Cobra. If you find Cobra feels better. The great thing with Sphinx is you're rounding down into your forearms is a great chance to get really long through the top of your head. Great chance to stretch the back of your body as well as the front. So as you lift your rib cage up off the mat, you can get that nice stretch through the front side. We're going to release down. We're going to add our quadricep stretch on our front side. Heel is going to come towards your glutes. Now I'm going to bring my forehead down towards the mat. Maybe you can reach your heel or your foot, your ankle. Maybe not. That's okay. The idea is to stretch the front of the thigh. So I want you to think, are both my hip bones pressing down into the mat as I stretch the front of my thigh? So we want to keep our hip bones down. We keep our knees fairly close together. Now you're going to release this side and take it to the other side. And again, starting with the heel, coming towards your glutes. If you can reach your ankle, you can reach it. Now, if you happen to have a strap nearby, and you can use a strap as well. Once you get that, I just want you to check in. What's happening with your hip bones? Are both of them coming down towards the mat as you add the stretch? And the stretch is for your quadricep, but you could also feel it in the front of your hip if you tend to have tighter hip flexors. Now from here, you're going to release the leg, press back, child's pose. Use a child's pose for a stretch through the hips, pressing your hips back. I will be tucking my toes, a little double duper here so you can stretch the bottoms of your feet as well as you take the reach through your fingertips. Shoulder stretch and then stretch through your hips. Now if you like to sink deeper, feet can go flat, and feel free to take that version. We are going to bring ourselves into all fours, and we're going to take one leg to the front. So here comes our low lunge, squeezing the back glute, fingertips reach up. So another stretch for the front of the hip, front of the thigh. We're going to take the right, whichever leg is to the front, bring that hand down. Add a side stretch. So we're going to add our side stretch real quick while we're here. Bring your fingertips up, and we're going to release our arms, and now take the lunge on the other side. This is a fabulous stretch to do, so if your hips get tight during the day, after you're cycling or you're walking, it's a great stretch to go ahead. Bring your fingertips up. Squeeze the glute. Keep pressing down through your front foot. You just want to make sure you have good alignment on this. Hands can come down so the knee that's to the front arm comes down. Little stretch off to this side. So you feel a little bit more intensity as you add the stretch off to the side. Now you're going to bring your arm down. We're gracefully coming down into a 90-90. That means your front knee is at 90, your back knee is at 90. This is a great chance to stretch out your hips. Take a little peek. Now, I don't care if your back hip is down on the floor. That's not the goal of this. The goal is to stretch the front hip. Now, hands are going to come out to the sides. It's a little bit of a rotation, and you're bringing your sternum, the center of your chest, over your thigh as you take this stretch here. Now, I like to stay up a little higher, but if you like to come down lower, feel free to come down lower. You can also transition this into a pigeon type pose by straightening the back leg. So you're going to feel that stretch there if you want to take it a little deeper. I'm going to be staying with my 90-90, but if you want to get deeper, straighten the back of the leg and you're going to feel more intensity. And you'll also get a little bit more stretch for the back hip. We're going to bring ourselves up, switching the leg to the front, sweep them around, 90, 90, fingertips are down on the floor. Here comes the rotation, sternum over your thigh. Now you remember, you can straighten this bottom leg out if you want to do that. That will give you a little bit deeper stretch. Hopefully you feel a pretty good stretch right here as well. We will start bringing ourselves up. Take your legs out in front of you. Quick little hamstring stretch. So you might want to bend your knees too. Hands can come down to the floor. Add a little lean forward. And when I say that, go in small little movements. Maybe you lean a little bit. Your knees are still towards the ceiling. Toes are towards the ceiling. And you might feel good stretch right there. So you would stay there. You could be up a little higher. You could bend a little more. We just want to get a nice stretch through the back side. Now we're going to bring ourselves all the way up. Slide your right leg in. Give it a little hug. We're going to take the foot over. Now we're going to hug the knee in. That's going to give us our stretch down the outside of our leg, a little bit more in our hip. Now if twisting is appropriate, sit up really tall, you can add a gentle twist. Then again, if twisting isn't meant for your spine, then you would stay forward. We bring ourselves back to the front, switch the leg that's out in front, so you're going to hug the other leg in. Start with the hug so you can sit up tall. When you're ready, take the foot over, hug the leg in a little closer. Maybe you stay here, and then maybe you sit a little taller and add your twist. We're going to bring ourselves back to the front. Take a quick bound angle, butterfly stretch, bottoms of the feet together. Today, when we take this one, we're going to open up the bottoms of our feet. You're going to open them up towards the ceiling. Hips are going to open a little bit more. Maybe, maybe not. Little lean forward if you want it. We start bringing ourselves up. I'm going to pop my hips up on the block. We only have a couple minutes left, but I do want to get a quick stretch for our upper body. I'll be sitting on my block real quick. Here comes arms open. I want you to open up to your chest. Feel that big opening. Hug a big ball. Open up between your shoulder blades. And there's the opening. Maybe you add a little side so you can catch your lats. Bring it off to the other side. And now you open up your hands, bring them slightly behind your hips. Lift your chest, another great stretch, front of the shoulders, chest. Sit up tall, bring your chin to your chest here. Now you're going to lift your head, open your arms up, take one arm across, shoulder, tricep stretch. We did both. We worked to the back of our shoulders, we worked our triceps. Open up your arms here, and now the other side comes across. Open your arms one more time, lift your chest, hands are gonna come down. Quick little look to the right for a neck stretch. Look to the left. Look straight ahead, take your right shoulder. If you don't feel a good stretch, make sure you're adjusting where your chin is so you release through your neck. We're gonna lift our head, Your left shoulder, catch the other side. Again, little micro movements with your chin. We lift the head. Now reach all the way up. Exhale, blow it out 2 more times. We take our big inhale. Inhale up. Exhale, blow it out 1 more time. Here comes the inhale. Here comes your exhale. And you are all done.